Hi, Missy from HR here. So this is the last video in the Hiring for Managers series, and I am going to tap on the topic of onboarding. So with onboarding, you are now past the step of interviewing and you've made an offer, the candidate's accepted. They're probably either going through background, possibly drug checks, or they're done with that and you're just waiting for their start date. So onboarding. This is your big opportunity to make a great first impression on your new employee. Again, this unfortunately is an area where a lot of managers don't do really the work that they should to prepare for a new employee in any role, any level, okay? So one of the things that I always like to recommend is that you send out an email to the new hire before they start, find out some basic information about them that they wouldn't mind you sharing with the team, shoot that email out to the team before their start date, and then that gives a little bit of a background and an introduction before anything. And it actually helps make those connections even when you're not there introducing them to people. And this was a great thing for me when I worked at a previous company. One of the things they asked was, what are your favorite shows right now? I think at the time it was like American Idol was still new and Criminal Minds was really big. And it was a great thing to walk in and have, two different people say, hey, did you see Idol last night? Or, hey, did you see Criminal Minds this week? And it was an instant common thread that we shared that we could kick off a conversation with. And then that leads to, by the way, my name is, this is what I do here. And then, it was something to check in with every week. Hey, did you watch? Right? So it really does help facilitate relationships as a new person. So see if you can go ahead and get that information, send out that email broadly to the team before they start, and then be a good help there. So the other piece I would tell you is putting together an onboarding schedule for the employee. And again, regardless of the position or level. So one of the things that is always good is having meet and greets. And again, how long they last, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and with who and for how many you do, is all going to depend on the position and the level. But think about both direct and indirect people/positions that this new hire is going to need to maybe interact with or even have a basic understanding of. So, putting together that calendar and include things like, these are the trainings you should do this week. These are the meet and greets you should do this week. This is, and kind of spell it out. And, if it's a very basic position, then maybe you only do that for 1 week. If it's a bigger position, higher level position even, then perhaps that's something that you plan out the first 2 months for at least some basic structural guidance on what they need to get done and what they need to plan. So on the meet and greets, make sure that you do reach out to the people ahead of time and let them know what it is you want them to do. Sometimes it'll say meet and greet, but then, the candidate or the new hire starts and, they'll be like, yeah, I'm not really sure what we're supposed to do. And that doesn't always look so good. So make sure you just, let them know what it is you're looking for them to do, whether it really is just a social, get to know each other so that they know more people, or do you want them to explain their role and how it ties to the new hire's role, or is it both? So really just kind of be clear on what it is that you're expecting there. And then make sure you check in a lot. That's, you start to feel a little bit shaky during those first 2 weeks of, did I make the right decision? It's all new faces, and you may have just come from a role as the new hire where you knew everything and you were the go-to person, and now you are just lost. So make sure you're definitely checking in a lot. Make sure also that first day that you're taking them to lunch, or a group of your team are taking them to lunch, whether you have the ability to go out for lunch or if it's in, or if it's a virtual thing. I mean, we have to come up with creative ways nowadays, right? And then the last thing that I would tell you on the onboarding piece is to make sure that you do follow up, whether it's you or HR, at like the 30 and the 90-day point at a minimum. So, making sure 30 days in that it's not so different than what they expected, or that they're not having a bad experience, and that they may jump before they go any further. So 30 days is a good mark to formally check on that. Of course, you should be checking in along the way informally, but then again at 90 days, they've had now enough time in the position where they really should know if it is what they expected, if they're going to like it. They really are going to understand more of the meat of the organization and their role. So that's a good time to check in now that they've got some time under them. So that is what I would recommend for onboarding. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.